Jimin cried not on stage, not in the spotlight, but behind the scenes, quietly and meaningfully. His tears were not from exhaustion or the pressure of being a global artist, but from one unexpected thing: the emotional reunion between Taehyung and Jungkook after military service. Why did that moment shake Jimin's heart so deeply? What exactly happened that he couldn't hold back his tears? And what is the meaning behind Taehyung's visit, done personally and without announcement? News that Taehyung specifically went to see Jungkook after completing his military service created a huge wave among armies. But what made everything even more emotional was when several sources mentioned that Jimin, known as the most sensitive among the BTS members, responded to the moment with an unusual surge of emotion. In a private interaction with someone close, Jimin was even said to be unable to hide his tears. Feelings of emotion, nostalgia, and perhaps regret all blended into one. It's no secret that the bond between the three BTS members, Jimin, Taehyung, and Jungkook, goes beyond just colleagues. They grew up together, spent their teenage years under the pressure of the entertainment world, and faced the burden of global fame as one unit. But their relationship has also seen ups and downs. Over time, individual schedules, solo projects, and national duties created unavoidable physical and emotional distances. And amid all that separation, the personal meeting between Taehyung and Jungkook became a powerful symbol for Jimin, a reminder of a bond that never truly disappeared. "Taehyung did something even I haven't had the chance to do," said a source close to Jimin, describing the emotional weight he was carrying. Though not said directly, the sentence implied a sense of being left behind or missing an important moment, a feeling strong enough to shake someone as sensitive as Jimin. He knew how important that meeting was for both of them, but he was also aware he hadn't had a similar chance. This sparked major concern among fans. Did Jimin feel left out or isolated in the emotional dynamic his friends had rekindled? From ARMY's perspective, this wasn't just a reunion of two members. It was a moment that reopened old memories, the days when Jimin, Taehyung, and Jungkook were known as BTS's closest trio. Their laughter behind the scenes, their signature jokes, and the undeniable warmth when they were together. But now, with two of them meeting privately post-military service, while the third could only watch from afar, that emotional emptiness became even more real. That's why Jimin's tears raised concern, not just as a sign of being touched, but as an indication that something deeper was happening behind the scenes. The fact that Taehyung's visit to Jungkook was done privately, without announcement or a public agenda, added a layer of mystery and emotional intensity to the situation. Some reports said the visitation permit had been submitted long in advance, a sign that it wasn't a spontaneous decision. Quite the opposite, it was a well-thought-out and very personal choice. This made many people wonder, did Taehyung deliberately choose to meet Jungkook first before meeting the other members, including Jimin? This question isn't directly answered, but the impact is clear. Jimin, known for being quiet when emotionally hurt, showed his vulnerable side. He didn't blame anyone, nor did he make a statement. But his facial expression, his body language in recent interactions, and brief comments from his inner circle all pointed to one thing. He felt the loss of something that couldn't be replaced with words. Many fans also began expressing their concern. If Taehyung and Jungkook could meet, why not all three of them? Wrote one ARMY on social media. Jimin must be hiding something in his silence, added another. The ARMY community, usually full of energy, was now filled with worry and unanswered questions. They didn't just care about member relationships, but also about each individual's emotional well-being, especially Jimin, who always puts others' feelings before his own. Beyond that, speculation arose that Jimin's tears weren't just out of emotion, but also from fear. Fear that the dynamics of their relationship were starting to shift, that a bond was slowly changing form. When two of his closest friends met and made a personal agreement, as Taehyung mentioned in his statement, while he was outside that conversation, it was understandable that Jimin felt emptiness. In a fast-paced and high-pressure world like theirs, small changes in relationships can feel like major tremors. In the midst of this situation, many hope for a broader emotional reconciliation, not just between Taehyung and Jungkook, but also with Jimin. Korean pop culture observers voiced the same. According to them, Jimin's displayed emotions reflect a psychological burden that had long been hidden. And precisely because he dared to show his vulnerable side, the public finally saw that BTS members aren't just symbols of success, but humans with complex emotions and evolving relationships. This condition serves as a reminder that personal relationships behind the scenes play a huge role in the continuity of a group. Jimin's moment of tears could be a turning point, not just for himself, but also for BTS as a group heading into the post-military era. The emotions Jimin showed shouldn't be ignored, because behind those tears lies a much deeper message: longing, hope, and a desire to still be part of a bond that was once so strong. Now, public attention is focused on what will happen next. Will there be a meeting between the three of them? Will Jimin be given the same space to rebuild his closeness with Taehyung and Jungkook? One thing's for sure, Jimin's tears have spoken more than 1,000 words. And ARMY, with all their love, can only hope that the emotional wounds will heal over time and that the three can sit together again, not just as BTS members, but as friends who understand and love each other without limits. However, beyond the emotional responses emerging from fans and the wider public, we're faced with one fundamental question. Did all of this truly happen? Or is it a scenario crafted to draw attention? Are we, as a digital society, discerning enough to separate fact from fiction? Or have we become victims of unfiltered information flooding the public space? In an era of such vast and often confusing information, every news piece, no matter how convincing, deserves scrutiny. Is there real evidence confirming this narrative? Are there official documents that support the story? Or is this just fragments of information from platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and some online media outlets that haven't been fully verified? These questions are very important to ask.
Why?
Because when emotion dominates over reason, the public can easily fall into the trap of hoaxes and sensationalism. Are we witnessing a truly heartfelt emotional reality? Or is this part of a clever strategy to create viral momentum? If we observe, many viral events on social media start from short videos without context, neatly edited image snippets, or even narratives crafted to look authentic. In this case, we should ask, do the sources of information we consume have journalistic credibility and integrity? We're not denying that there's a big possibility these events did happen. Maybe there really was an emotional interaction between the artists and their fans. Or perhaps there was a touching moment not captured by mainstream media, but witnessed by someone. But what if not? What if this is a narrative fabrication aimed at controlling public opinion? When faced with emotionally strong narratives, we tend to ignore rational aspects. Therefore, it is crucial for all of us as information consumers and responsible citizens to be skeptically aware in a positive way. This doesn't mean rejecting all information, but verifying each claim before concluding. With that, we invite you, the readers and viewers, to reflect for a moment. Do you truly believe that every detail in this story is factual? Are you sure this narrative hasn't been manipulated by certain parties for certain purposes? What is the motivation behind spreading this information? Who benefits the most if the public believes this story? Such reflection is not only important to preserve the integrity of our thinking, but also becomes the foundation for building a healthy digital literacy culture. When we start to question, not in a blindly doubtful way, but in a pursuit of true truth, we are acting as intelligent digital citizens. We would like to inform you that the information we present in this article comes from various media sources, such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other online media outlets. However, we emphasize that the truth of this information cannot be confirmed absolutely. Its validity and accuracy still require further verification from independent and authorized parties.